Hey guys, it's me Kezia, the world's leading female dating expert for men, and today I have with me Vio. Vio's the newest member of my team, and he has helped so many of my students in achieving their ideal body. Now, Vio is not your average fitness coach or personal trainer. He also specialises in helping men to develop their inner confidence as well as their confidence in their appearance. Vio believes in making maximum impact, and he already has certainly made a lot of impact with my students. All the men that have worked with Vio, whether they want him to help them bulk up, slim down, get ripped, have been more than satisfied with the results. But what they were really happy with was his passion and insight in helping them to achieve a positive and strong mental state first. In this video today, Vio is going to be sharing some really valuable tips that you can use to help create more attractive body language. But first of all, Vio, why don't you introduce yourself to everyone?
Hi guys, my name is Vio, as Kezia mentioned, and I'm a life coach and a performance coach, personal performance coach. We work on mind, body confidence, charisma, which includes body language and sexology. So what I like to do is help guys achieve their best self and create that wow factor, which creates that maximum impact with everyone they meet. So any interaction with women, guys, people in business, and friends, which is all important. But today we're going to be talking about increasing that with women, particularly.
Another reason for why I asked you to come and join the team is because a lot of guys wanted to know how they can create attractive body language with women. And this is something that I think you are an expert in. So it's not necessarily all the guys that come to Vio just want to be ripped or they want to slim down or bulk up, although you do that. A lot of it is about creating that presence, making that immediate impact, whether you're thin, you're short, or you're slightly overweight. Regardless, you can still make that incredibly strong impact, maximum impact as you call it, and just own the room.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I think, you know, we're always looking to generate that kind of interest and curiosity around us when we enter the room or we're meeting new people. And we can do so much with our body language that we're not already doing. And I find that, you know, guys are just focused on, say, just putting on muscle. They're missing the point. I mean, it's what you're doing with your body, your presence, the way you own your space. Mm-hmm. It's saying a lot of things. There's a lot of sub-communication going on there, which is huge, especially when you're approaching someone for the first time. You know, you might be thinking and saying one thing, but your body is saying the opposite.
Yes.
And they're going to pick up on it straight away.
Absolutely. So what are the three main tips that guys can apply in regards to their body language to make a big difference?
I think a lot of guys who they're not already conscious of this can make a dramatic change, dramatic transformation with everyone they meet. They'll notice it in seconds. If they just change three things, you know, the first thing is obviously going to be posture, which everyone knows about anyway, but no one's actually doing it naturally and comfortably. Because when your posture's good, your breathing's good, and you can chill and stay calm, and you're present. And that's the key. And I think a lot of guys, when they're approaching women, they start losing composure, and then their body language will show that.
They're hunched over. Yeah. I have a lot of guys, and it's like almost, it's coming from a very needy place. Mm-hmm. And their body language just states, I'm not comfortable speaking to you, I'm not comfortable approaching a woman, I'm not comfortable with who I am.
Yeah.
So even if they are fairly attractive, all I can see as a woman is the negative and the insecure body language.
Exactly. So it's within your right to make a presumption there that this guy's not quite ready for me yet. Mm-hmm. He needs a little bit of growing up to do.
So posture, okay, it's even something that I have to admit I forget about. I can sometimes catch myself when I'm walking down the street, I catch myself in the mirror and I'm like, oh my God, am I really standing like that? And I just forget. And it's luckily that I'm so vain that I look at myself in mirrors going by shops that I can actually pull myself together. But is there any tips that guys can remember in order to keep that posture?
I think, you know, the things that really drill it in, and you've got to build it into your body, into your DNA, is the training. You're doing certain type of training is going to correct your posture anyway. And also it's being conscious of deeper breathing, holding your head high. You know, if you're holding your head high, you're sending good signals to everyone.
So show someone who's got bad body language approaching.
Okay, so you've probably seen this loads of times. All women can agree that when a guy's approaching them and they're doing this and they're shuffling and they're thinking twice about it,
Yeah,
they're not committed.
It makes me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, you're starting to wonder what's going on in that guy's mind, yeah? Whereas if a guy, you know, he comes straight over and he's got a bit of a swagger and he's got that eye contact, completely different.
So that's
effect,
what
isn't
swagger is.
Swagger is, it's owning your body movements and knowing how to move like a man. So you don't have to walk around like you've been shot in the knee or you need fruit for your bowl, yeah? But some women do like that because it's like, this guy, he's just got that confidence, isn't he?
Yeah.
But you got to have a little bit of a spring in your step. Everyone says it, don't they? Yeah.
Okay.
And you got to walk tall. Women like guys a little bit taller, or they appear to be taller.
So that's going back to having good posture, which can add on quite a few
I think some
inches.
people get confused with good posture. They think, you know, it's like you have to walk around like you've got an imaginary book on your head and you're walking straight and stiff. Yeah. It's nothing to do with that. It's to do with standing up very straight, which basically aligns everything. Yeah, you breathe better, you stay calm and cool. That's why women subconsciously recognise that as a confident trait. And the guy who's walking around like that, there's a primal reason why guys do that in the presence of other alpha males.
Oh yeah, please share.
It's, you know, if you're walking around strutting your stuff, you're in immediate conflict with another alpha male. And if there's like less hot females to go around, you know, you're basically saying, okay, we've got a competition. Whereas if you're walking around like this, you're trying to stay in the background. And this is going on a very subconscious primal level all the time, especially, you know, when we're talking about like seduction, definitely.
Okay. Actually, you mentioned swagger and so on. This leads you on to your second tip, which is rhythm.
Yeah, rhythm is absolutely everything. And it's not just about dancing, though guys miss out on a massive opportunity here to generate, you know, attraction, curiosity. Don't women all love guys who can dance and move?
Of course.
Yeah?
Actually, I was thinking, because we were having this conversation, like which guys I find attractive, which guys I find sexy. Now, sexy is not good looking. And one man that women really find very sexy is Freddie Mercury, actually. And he's not, he's not the most handsome guy, but he was very, very sexy. And he had a lot of rhythm.
Yeah, and that's the thing. A lot of the guys there will be scratching their head. They won't understand what's going on here. But women understand what's going on. This guy, when he's on stage, his on-stage persona was something else. You know, he really owned the space, and he had rhythm and control. And this is what we're going to sort of lead up to, is that when you're in the moment and you're working with a feeling and stuff, especially when you're, you know, seducing a girl, you got to have some sort of rhythm. You got to have movement and pattern, and you got to be able to understand timing. Timing's everything, isn't it? I mean, in comedy, we know that. Now, why don't we believe the same in seduction? Of course it's true, isn't it? Yeah. And you've got to just pace yourself. Guys, I think they get anxious, don't they? And they want to rush through it.
Yes, yeah.
And they don't want to like pace themselves and create a nice rhythm so she can match it.
It is important because you need to look like you're owning the situation. You're in no rush to go anywhere. You are setting the pace as well as the tone. So
I mean, what is that saying? It's saying there's a little bit of fear there, isn't it? She'll pick it up straight away. It's like, well, you got to rush off somewhere, or what's going on here?
Because I noticed when you talk to girls, they're immediately relaxed with you. Immediately they warm to you, girls. Because, I mean, you're quite a strapping lad. You're a big guy. And it can be a little bit intimidating when, you know, a guy who's quite built like you comes along and speaks to a woman. But I see women automatically just warm to you because I noticed it was because you were very, very relaxed in your rhythm. You weren't rushing. You were talking kind of like at this pace. It was just like very, very gentle. It wasn't like high and overexcited and talking like 100 words per minute.
Exactly. I think the key is always getting people relaxed. When people are in a relaxed state, and you know, we could talk about state for hours, but when people are in a good state, you can do all sorts of things. You can be suggestive. They're ready, they're open, they're willing, you know, whereas when you feel like there's a bit of tension and it's like, you don't know what the reason is, but there's a panic. And,
there's a panic.
And you're ready, you're shallow breathing now as well, and you're going into that kind of primal mode, which is I need to escape, or I need to fight, I need to do something here to get out of this situation.
Fight or flight.
Exactly.
Okay, so what's the third tip?
The third tip is, you know, it's going to tie everything together, because really, you know, you've got to make everything you're doing holistic. Everything's got to be connected. I find that if you do things separately and it's cut off, you don't know where it's all going, you know. But what we're talking about here, this third tip, it's about territory marking. Yeah, and again, this is something people don't really talk about, but we do it all the time, especially guys who are attractive.
No, but you do it more than anyone.
Really? Yeah.
Like when we meet up for a coffee or something, I was sitting with you and I was like, whose bag is that over there? You're like, it's mine. And I said, but whose coat is that? And you're like, it's mine. And I've noticed what you do is you walk in with like all your gym stuff and you just put it on some chair and then you put your coat somewhere else. And it does give the feeling like you're totally relaxed. You're totally, this is what it creates, the feeling, the sensation that you're totally relaxed and you are a dominant male without saying, hey, you know, I am dominant male.
Yeah.
You've sort of illustrated that with the way that you treat your surroundings.
Exactly. I think, you know, this is what, when we're especially, you know, trying to appear more attractive to someone we really like, yeah, we got to give them as many signals to suggest exactly that, yeah. Now, other than talking about it, if you can do it with body language and movement and, you know, territory marking, it's very primal stuff, but we do it in the modern world all the time.
I think my dog does it.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Well, the one who beat me up the other day, Rocky, yeah. But the thing is like, you've got to feel like, you know, you own this space. Now, when you're on the dance floor, that is one of the best opportunities to do that. So, of course, women love that. They look at it and
some guys are going to say, look, I'm just such a bad dancer. I don't want to take up space. So how can they take up space in a nightclub without having to dance?
Well, they can do it in loads of different ways. Now, women pick up on this subconsciously within split seconds. Now, you walk into a club and then you stand in a corner. And guys, you've seen other guys do this as well, yeah? How does that look to you when a guy walks in a club, stands in a corner and is eyeing everyone up?
They're vulnerable and weak.
Yeah. And it looks sleazy at the same time. Yeah. So it's a bad combination, isn't it? Whereas you've got a guy who walks in and they're introducing themselves to people. It appears to be that they know everyone, but what they're actually doing is they're moving around. Yeah. And something's going on deep down as well to say that, you know, that guy has got some sort of status, which is a good thing. He doesn't have to be a celebrity. He doesn't have to be rich, but people get on with him. It's already, it's good messages that people are getting, yeah?
And this you believe comes under your third tip, which is territory marking.
Territory marking, yeah. We're not talking about going to the club and peeing in the corner, yeah, like Rocky would. But
there's a line between us and animals, yes.
Yeah. But there is stuff where you have to do where you're just sprinkling, yeah, bits of your personality. You're leaving a mark, you're making a mark. And this is why we love the guys, you know, who are on stage. Even Freddie, I love Freddie because he's just memorable. That's the key, yeah? Now, if you've walked around a room and you've left a trail of smiles, think of it that way, yeah? And someone looks at what's happening, yeah, following that trail, they're thinking, this guy is cool to hang out with. That's just instinctive.
Okay.
And then you can work off that. That's when you can be relaxed. Then you can use pacing. Yeah. Because you're not like trying to prove everything in 10 seconds. Please like me. And then you're reeling off 100 things. You can just take your time. You can pause, relax, enjoy each other's eyes, etc.
Makes a lot of sense. I know that you've shared those tips with some of our past students, obviously in a lot more detail than just a 10-minute video. And they said it really made a massive difference because the girls were watching them from a distance, how they're behaving, using these 3 very simple tips. And that when they went and spoke to the girl and they approached the girl, she already had a better image of him in her head. So
we should not have the barriers flying straight
exactly, because she'd already seen him doing his stuff. So okay, Vi, thank you very much for those tips. You can work with Vi on my 7-day course, my boot camps, and you can also contact him personally, and you'll find all his details on my website, which is www.kezia-noble.com. Make sure that you check out all the courses, the ebooks, the DVDs, and of course, our regularly updated blog. Say goodbye, Vio.
Goodbye, Vio.